All right, guys, hello. So, however you have found me, I am Megan. I am a fitness and nutrition coach. And now I think I'm going to start doing a little bit of cooking videos. Culinary arts is my actual educational background. I even started it back in high school at a vocational school, and then that's what I went to college for, a technical school. And then baking is what I did as a profession. So I'm kind of excited to share this with you. Today we are going to make Zuppa Toscana. It's like an Italian potato, kale, creamy, it's delicious soup. I am plant-based, so my recipe will be plant-based, but you can easily replace my vegan butter, vegan milk with your full dairy milk or whatever your choice is. And then you can also increase or decrease your calories with whatever fat source. So I'll kind of talk about that as we get into it. So this recipe is not my recipe. It is a chef vegan food blogger called This Savory Vegan, and I'll attach her as well. She's amazing. I've had a ton of her recipes. The one really cool thing that I like a lot about cooking is that it's really up to your interpretation. I do have a formal background, so I kind of know how to create recipes, but if that's not something that you have much knowledge of, you can always follow a recipe exact how it is. It's directions on how you make something. So you just follow it exactly. And then if you wanted to create something that's a little less salty, a little more fatty, less fatty, spicier, sweeter, those types of things you can kind of tweak to the way that your taste buds are for yourself. And that just means that you're just going to have to try your product a little bit more throughout the process. Or you can kind of just follow it exactly. Or you can be like me, where I just take a recipe and I tweak it the way that I like. I don't really try it throughout the process. I wing it and then I try it at the end. And most of the time I got wins. But you can do it whatever way works well with your lifestyle. And if you have any questions about that or how to tweak my recipe, of course, comment below. So I have the ingredients over here on my counter for the Zuppa Toscana. Just make sure the recipe is up here. So the things that you will need, of course, is a sauce pot of some kind. Mine is my Lodge cast iron that is obviously coated. And so you'll need some kind of big sauce pot. We have kale. We got garlic. You can use fresh garlic. You can use canned garlic. You can use this. Mine is like the peeled but still whole. You can use garlic powder if you need, whatever version of garlic or not. You need some kind of soup base or broth. You can use a meat-based one, beef, chicken, bone broth, those types of things. You could use bouillon cubes. This is better than bouillon, so it's just like a spicy mixture cream spread, I guess. And I'm gonna mix this with some water, and that will be my soup base. I got butter. And then spices that we'll need are oregano, fennel seeds, pepper, salt to taste, as whatever your preferences are. We got onion. We got potatoes. And then we have a sausage. Mine is the Impossible spicy sausage. So ours is going to be a little spicier. But again, you can use whatever sausage you would like. If that's pork, if that's a lighter fat one, turkey, if that's, you could probably even use like a TVP and not use a kind of meat. And then you're going to use a little bit of flour as well. So on our recipe, Our first thing is to heat olive oil in your big pot, and then you're gonna add your sausage. So to start cooking, obviously we gotta turn our stove on, heat up my pan a little bit. I always like to preheat my pan, so I'll turn it up high and then I'll come down to like 2 or 3 on mine. Mine is full numbers. So we got a couple different ways that we can cook depending on what your goals are. So Pam, it can be any brand, but like a spray. It's aerated oil, so it spreads a lot less in the pan. Obviously, if you're holding and spraying and spraying and spraying, that will eventually add up to some calories. Or we can just go straight olive oil, straight vegetable oil, whatever your coconut oil, avocado oil, whatever your oil preference is. Obviously, the oil is going to have a fat content even though you're cooking. So depending if you're trying to lose weight, gain weight, maintain weight. If you're trying to lose weight, go with this kind of thing. Maintain weight, use your normal oil. Gain weight, add extra oil. Easy way to add calories is by cooking with a little bit more oil, and it makes your food taste more delicious. Also, most sausages, whether it's plant-based or meat-based, they are going to also have fat. So like this is 9 grams of fat per serving, 7 servings in there. That's a lot of fat. So fat is in this as well. So that's something to take in consideration depending on what your goals are. I always use 0-calorie spray unless it's something especially specific. And that's just because I know myself and I'm limiting my fat calories for sweets later in the day. I have to maintain my body weight. I'm in a sport where my body weight has to be within a few pounds or kilos. So we're going to take our sausage and we're going to add it to our slightly oiled pan. And then throw your wrapper away. Give your hands a little rinse. Always a flick. After you wash, always flick. Get as much water off as possible. Now that our sausage is in the pan, we can turn off of the 2 or 3. Now I'm on a 4 or 5. Wrong drawer. I'm just going to use this plastic spatula, also broken, I'm a real person, to break up my sausage so it's not in the lump. The one bad thing with being new to this video making is I do only have one camera, so this is the only view you're going to get until you make it yourself. Or I guess until the end of the video when I move my camera, because I'm not advanced enough to move my camera around while I do this, because I'm not going to edit this. It's going to be a one-time through trial and you get what you get. So this is still slightly frozen. Ideally, you would thaw your sausage completely, and then you can break it up a lot easier. If it's slightly frozen, you will have to stir it around a lot more. So we're just cooking our sausage until brown, stirring frequently for 7 to 10 minutes, and then you'll remove the sausage. And you'll notice while you're cooking, it's going to start draining the oil or fat, depending on what source you're using. And something that people who are not plant-based wonder is like why people want products that are like meat, and something that, for me personally, I don't want a meat product. I also, in my opinion, don't think they taste like meat. I think they taste like their own individual product. It does need to have a name of some sort, and so using a name like sausage or pepperoni, that's going to get people to recognize what they could use this product for, because it's something that's new. And I don't think that the fake meat is meant to be the same. But it is what it is. You interpret it as it is. The fat that's in this is just going to probably be coconut oil. I'd have to look at the package to know for sure. But it's just coconut oil mixed with a plant protein. Again, I don't remember what this one is, but either some kind of tofu, tempeh, soy product, or it's going to be like pea protein or vital wheat gluten. Those are usually your main protein sources. And that's really what I look for when I'm shopping in replacement meat products. Since I am an athlete and I compete, I need to pay attention to my protein. And so I look for products that are high protein. Oh. Okay, that looks done. So now I need something to put that in. I'm just going to take this bowl and I'm going to scoop my sausage and put it in this bowl. And technically it says till brown. So again, up to your discretion. If you really like crispy browned up meat, you can kind of crisp it up a little bit more. You also don't really have to cook it that much because it is going to go in a soup. So that hot liquid of the soup will continue the cooking process. You just have to make sure that before you eat it, if there is meat or dairy in it, that it reaches the proper temperature. So this, don't know if you can see it, is my sausage. It's a little spicy, steamy, delicious. And then depending also how browned up you made the sausage, there should be some oils, crispy crunchies in the bottom of your pan. We're going to keep those and we're going to use those to create the stock that is going to be our soup. Now, add butter to the pot, let it melt. Slowly whisk flour until mixture is smooth and bubbly. So we need butter and flour. So the butter that's in here is 2 tablespoons of butter and then 2 tablespoons of flour and a whisk. Butter, flour, pepper, salt, all right by me. Whisk. Okay, I'm gonna turn back on. So got a gas stove, turn it on to light it. Now I go back down to 2. It is still warm from before. So now, seeing where my paper is, 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. Okay, so I made little marks on my butter if it's this kind of tablespoon like mine. So that's 2 tablespoons. Again, depending on whatever your goals are, you can monitor calories in the soup that way. I'm on a maintenance phase, potentially gain. Right now I am running a little light for my weight class, so I can play with my calories a little more. If you're trying to lose weight, I wouldn't use the butter. We could always use extra stock, or we could use more spray oil if we needed to. And then if you're on the gain train and you're really trying to get stronger and you're putting a lot of work in the gym to get stronger and you need more calories, oils and butters, easy way to add calories. Now that butter's in there, pan has cooled a little bit, so I'm going to turn that heat up to a 4. Now we need tablespoon measure for the flour. This is my flour container. Again, I'm a real person. I left it too close to the stove. It's melted. We're going to open it if I can find the side. 2 tablespoons. We don't want big rounded tablespoons or anything like that. Nice flattened tablespoons. And then you're just going to whisk the crunchies of your sausage with that butter and that flour. Until it's like a creamy, consistent, not chunky, texture. And then we're going to turn it down really low because I don't want to burn it. I'm actually going to turn mine off because mine runs really hot. And then this is when we're going to put our seasoning in. Oh, actually our onion. I need to cut my onion. Add our onion, fennel seed, oregano, black pepper, red pepper flakes, and stir. So we need our onion. This is the onion I had from the other day. It's really like a half an onion. And again, depending on what your culinary skills are, you could use something that is a chopper, like a little device. Makes it really fucking easy. Always be protected so you don't hurt yourself. And if you're judging the way that I'm chopping, I did take a culinary arts program, but I was 15 years old. And I'm a baker. And I'm a real person, so I'm not like a professional gourmet chef, all right? I'm just like you. Okay, that's chopped, rough chop. No need to be perfect unless you have a chopping buddy. And then the onions, gonna go right into that flour, butter, sausage crumble mixture. And then we got garlic. Garlic is usually up to your discretion. The recipe calls for 3 cloves of garlic. It doesn't actually say to add the garlic yet. Okay, so fennel, oregano, black pepper. Those say in the recipe, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and a half a tablespoon of fennel seeds. I have fresh oregano, so that's cool. I'm gonna do fresh, and I'm just gonna twist it and break it. Break up those oils, and then my fingers are gonna smell good. I am a big fan of pepper. It is spicy sausage, but pepper grinder, I'm just eyeballing the amount of pepper I like. I know I'm gonna salt it, so I'm just gonna salt. Salt is not the enemy, especially if you exercise. Salt is an electrolyte, and you need it. And then we got half a tablespoon of fennel seed. Hopefully that's some good ASMR of you. Crinkly package. Fennel seed, half the tablespoon in the pot. Now I'm going to turn the heat back on. I put my fennel away. I can put my flour away. I am definitely a clean as I go chef. I recommend it. It makes cooking a lot easier of a process because they're in these moments right now, like this is heating up. This is a down moment. You could be like some people and stand here and scroll on your phone, play with your dogs or kids, watch TV, that kind of thing. But if you clean as you go, you don't have to worry about doing it at the end. Top tip. Okay, we're cooking. We're probably cooking till they're soft, would be my guess. But I'll go read the recipe again. This is something that I do a lot. I cook and then I read, I cook and then I read. And I'll read the same one over and over again. Add the onion, fennel seeds, oregano, black pepper, and a pinch of red pepper flakes and stir till evenly coated. Continue to cook until the onion begins to soften, approximately 5 to 7 minutes. Look at your clock. Then we're going to add the garlic and cook for an additional 30 seconds. From there, read ahead, you're going to slowly pour in water and milk. Add the bouillon and stir until combined. Then we're going to add the potatoes. So now what I have to do to prep my next position is right now I'm going to chop my garlic. And that, guys, is the essence of my current content making skills. That video ended because I ran out of storage on my phone. And I have a lot of storage on my phone. I just have so many training videos. And I am now finished with the soup. I kept talking to the camera and the camera wasn't recording me. So I'm pretty sure I left off where I was putting the seasonings in, the oregano. And then so what you do after that is, depending on if you have the vegetable broth or the bouillon cubes, if you have vegetable broth, you're going to do 4 cups of vegetable broth. And then if you just have bouillon, then you're going to do 4 cups of water, and then whatever bouillon establishes 4 cups of water. Mine was 3 teaspoons of bouillon. And again, you can use whatever kind of broth, bone broth, bouillon that you have available to you. And then you'll mix 1 cup of the milk, whatever milk you have available. Today I'm using oat in my recipe. You can use regular milk. You can use whatever nut milk you like. And then you're going to mix that all together. You're going to keep stirring and stirring all the crunchy bits on the bottom of your pan so that you deglaze your pan. And then you will get all those crunchy bits, and then that's going to kind of mix together. And then what you're going to do is you're going to chop up your potatoes. And your potatoes, they should be bite-sized, or size that you enjoy in your mouth. Something that can cook relatively quickly, but then still not too small. And then you're going to boil those potatoes. So you're going to turn the liquid up, the soup up to high, and you're going to boil those potatoes for 10 full minutes. Once you've hit that 10 minutes, during the time of the 10 minutes of the potatoes boiling, destem your kale, and then chop your kale into bite-sized pieces as well. And then after 10 minutes of your potatoes boiling, you're going to add your kale to the soup, mix that up, and then you're going to add your sausage to the soup. And then that brings us to where we're currently at with our soup. So I'll show you the soup. So here's my nice container. Again, lift liquid in. I haven't stirred it since I just went to the store, but as you can see my sausage, potatoes, kale. I'll put that lid down. Hand recording, not as good. And then we're going to take our spatula and we'll give it a stir. It does look like it could use more liquid, so I'm gonna add that now because that will actually kind of cool my soup down. I'm actually gonna eat this later for dinner, so I need to cool mine down before I go to work. So I'm going to add a little bit of liquid to that. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more milk so it's a little bit creamier, but I'll also add some of the bouillon so I don't lose flavor because it looks like some liquid has drained off a little bit. This is a well-balanced meal. You have proteins, fats, and carbs, vegetables. So this is a great meal. Leftovers for your next one. I'm gonna pair it with some nice crusty bread. So again, depending on whatever calories you're allowed for your goals, you can add more carbs with bread, and then you can also butter that bread, and then you have some delicious soup. So thanks for watching my partial cooking video. Hopefully next time it will be a full one.